4's Company, 1025, 1063. The Game, Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you on this Saturday morning. We are broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. And as always, we are brought to you by LPL Financial Nashville and Patrick Conger, financial planning for tomorrow so that you can enjoy today. That was my computer. We got it, though.
Attaboy, Joe.
It happens.
I say, oh, it wasn't me. I was like, whoa.
As soon as it started, I kind of thought it was me because I just opened the YouTube, but we got it pretty quick. Good morning, guys. Going to be a fun show today.
We're mad at you, though.
The Titans are practicing right now. But
he's mad. I'm not mad.
We will address the elephant in the room.
I'm mad at the situation, not at you.
Yes, this will be my final show on the Saturday program. 4's Company. We are going to address it more at the end of the show and talk about what's coming. But the Saturday show is not going away. Connor and Nick will obviously still be a part of it.
Still here.
But I will not be on the Saturday show anymore. As was announced earlier this week, Jared Stillman no longer with 1025 The Game. Reshuffling the lineup. DVD moves to afternoons. Chasing Big Joe now 12 to 3. And I'm going to be taking over from 9 to noon daily. Working very closely with you guys. Connor's going to be producing our show all next week. So,
yes.
No goodbyes. Nick's going to be coming in right after. So,
but it is hard.
Because, it is tough. It's been a really great run. And again, we're going to address all of this more. But yes, this will be my final show. I do want to quickly just say big thanks to Jared for everything he's done for us since we've been here. Learned a lot from that guy. Very talented broadcaster and always was.
And a good person.
Right. Great to work with. So want to wish Jared luck in everything he does moving forward. With that, we will talk more about the logistics of what it's going to look like moving forward on the Saturday program later, but let's get into headlines. There's a lot of them today. I still need a moment to figure out which one I'm going to go with. So Nick Frazier, do you have a headline for us?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of with baseball, just with the deadline. I'm kind of at a loss of words for how many moves were made. Just the whole factor that the Phillies are a true World Series contender now. I think having that bullpen kind of re-energized, bringing in Johan Duran, and I know we were talking about it before the show as well. I think the Padres have really said we're going all in on it as well. There's just a few teams out there. They're saying we're going all in no matter what the cost is. And the one team that I think we've all kind of fallen in love with, even though their record doesn't show it, are the Athletics. I think the Athletics have got a lot of really good prospects in return from offloading Mason Miller. And obviously Jacob Wilson has that whole forearm injury going into this second half of the season. So Nick Hertz is going to be the big AL Rookie of the Year now. And they just have a lot of young prospects we've talked about on the show previously. So this would be great going forward.
No, the trade deadline, honestly, it's usually one of my favorite days of the year. And I mean, Thursday, there was a flurry of moves, especially at the very end. It felt like there was 10 trades they got completed in the last 15 minutes before the deadline. I'm not thrilled with my Tigers moves, but that's a tangent for another day and another city. But I do love the trade deadline, and I thought it was fun this week. Connor Newt, what is your headline today?
Oh, you're going to be mad at me because I'm going to go with a semi-non-sports one. But John Cena's face again, guys. John Cena is a good guy now. He cut a promo last night. Frazier, I don't know if you saw it, but he cut a promo and, guys, I'm really sorry. All of that. SummerSlam is this weekend. By the way, slight self-plug. New Ring Knower is out with myself and the Tribal Chief Chase McCabe. That will be on the air, actually, all weekend. I think today at 1 and tomorrow at 10. So check that out, please. Or go on Spotify or YouTube, Apple Music, wherever you find your podcast. It was a lot of fun with that guy, especially given the circumstances of this week. He needed an escape. But, yeah, John Cena is a good guy. So get excited. Also, Jelly Roll's fighting this weekend, so get excited for that. That'll be really weird. But
been impressed with his just transformation of his body. I mean, the guy was massive.
Dude, he's like skinny now.
Yeah, he's really.
Ozempic does wonders.
I don't know if it's Ozempic. That man's really put in the work.
Yeah, he has.
I wanted to ask you about John Cena, though. Just the fact, is he going into being like because he mentioned he didn't mention the thugonomics.
Thugonomics.
It kind of had that little tone to it.
I don't think he will. I think he'll finish out as the face that runs the place. But I was never a big fan of the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Really?
Just too corny for me.
I gravitated towards it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's got some good promos to it.
I mean, that was his first intro music was Word Life.
Yeah, Word Life. But I don't think so. I think he'll just be what he is. He retires in December, so we're almost there. I think he has like 13 more dates scheduled or something like that. One of them being on Sunday. So it's going to be sad, man. I'm going to cry, and I don't cry easily. Although I cried yesterday when I learned Jake Lyman was leaving me. So
I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere.
You're leaving metaphorically.
Yes, but I'm always available if you guys want me to come on for a segment or two on the Saturday.
I'm going to call
show.
you at like 2 a.m. and be
Jake,
like,
I'm just going to pinch you real quick. Yeah, he's still here.
I am still here.
Yep.
I am physically in the room. Great news. I finally got into the text line, so I will be able to
how'd you do that?
Chase McCabe helped me out. So I'm finally in. I will be able to actually read the responses because I do have question of the day. We'll get to that. My headline, I have two. I'm going to go with both of them. The Bristol Speedway Classic today, really cool with the Braves and the Reds. Awesome. I was at the battle at Bristol, the college football game when Virginia Tech played Tennessee, and really cool experience. As Connor said, not easy to see anything because you are pretty far away, but I'm excited to watch that and just see what it looks like to play baseball at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's going to be really cool. The other one is much stupider. It is ESPN 8 the Ocho weekend, and I just so happened to tune in yesterday right as Slippery Stairs came on, and that is my favorite ESPN 8 the Ocho event sport.
There's one that's called like Frazier. You probably know more about this because you know about all the weird sports. Omega Ball.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
I never heard of Omega Ball. I've heard of Gaga Ball.
Yeah, that's with the walls and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's in like an octagon.
Yeah,
I can't even explain what this is, but there's like 8 different goals. It's
interesting.
Yeah, you just have to watch it. I can't explain it to you on the air.
I didn't watch very much. I did watch Slippery Stairs, which, for those of you who don't know, it's pretty self-explanatory. There are stairs, they are slippery, and you try and be the first one to get up to the top while people are like pushing and pulling each other down. It's really fun to watch. I saw other events on there was like the Papa Shot National Championship or something like that. So ESPN 8 the Ocho Day.
I love pillow fighting. That's my favorite
They
one.
have that?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's like 3 days that they just run all these obscure sports.
All day.
What did dodgeball start? It started this movement to have obscure sports on once a year on ESPN.
Strategy,
too.
Cotton.
The Steel Timber Sports Championship. That's where you get the giant saw and just saw it back and forth off the log.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen they do axe throwing. Cornhole, honestly, is maybe too mainstream for ESPN 8 the Ocho now.
Oh yeah, well they have that celebrity cornhole now. Like, I think it was like Jay Cutler versus some. It's like all these guys that used to be big but then fell off.
D-Mace was on it last year.
Yeah, he was.
Really?
With Ocho Cinco.
That's so cool.
And Andre Johnson.
Ocho
on
Cinco
ESPN News, I believe.
Had some thoughts on the Titans that we'll get into later. Jake Wallman, good morning. What's your headline?
Good morning, gentlemen. Before I get into my headline, Connor and Nick will be on 4's Company, but I won't. Is that what I heard at the top of the show?
I was just going off of people in the studio.
Is there something I don't know?
It's like just host as he's talking about it.
Okay.
This is an awkward situation. Let's move
on. My headline, I saw yesterday that the Georgia Tech rivalry is, I guess, under a new name. I think it's called the Atlanta Gridiron Classic.
The Invesco QQQ Atlanta Gridiron Classic.
Excuse me.
3 Qs. Nice.
Yep.
And this is part of the whole, are we starting to lose college football conversation? And I know, to quote Josh Pate, he says, until Saturday no longer feels like Saturday, we've never lost college football. But what's the difference in going 10 minutes down the road and playing this game at Georgia Tech? I mean, it's stupid.
No, I agree with you. I think moving games to neutral sites is just never a good idea.
Right.
Especially rivalry games. I I mean, I get it. You can fit more people in there, and I'm sure the sponsors like it more.
Yeah.
But
It's becoming more of a money grab sport by the day.
right, playing games on campus is one of the large reasons why people love college football. It's the tradition and the atmosphere. I will never get behind moving to NFL stadiums for anything other than like, yeah, you'll have the Aflac kickoff games, which is fine, or obviously conference championship games, but regular season games between conference teams, between rivals should always be played on campus sites.
What about the Cotton Bowl?
That's different.
Red River Shootout.
Yeah, the Red River rivalry. That one's different because that has been the tradition.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
But you're saying like
Moving it,
like Florida and Georgia playing in Jacksonville is bad.
that's fine too. I get, because that's like
I have heard of the argument that game needs to be played on campus.
I can see the argument there, but it's that's the world's biggest cocktail party. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like those ones have the tradition baked in of like, we're going to split this stadium 50-50 and we're going to play it in a neutral site every year. That's fine. But like Atlanta, like Georgia and Georgia Tech have never done this. I don't like the idea of changing it now.
I think the direction they're trying to go, and I heard this on a podcast a couple weeks ago. It just seems like a lot of these main event rivalry games are going to be put at, I guess, neutral sites because there's so much TV involved. It's going to lead to possibly like a pay-per-view, like watch, like, oh, $4 or $5 to watch this game. Like if it's a mainstream game, that's going to charge a fee. And I think that's the way things are going for college sports, unfortunately.
It's just like, could you imagine the game, Michigan, Ohio State, being played in like Chicago or
Lubbock,
something like that?
Texas.
Like, or Iron Bowl, Auburn, Alabama. It's like, we're going to play this in Orlando or something like that. Like, I don't like changing it. Like, obviously there are the few exceptions where they've done it for so long and it makes sense with Georgia, Florida, and the Red River rivalry, but no more. I want no more neutral sites for these games.
It's time for us to stand up as fans.
It is. We need to make a stand and save college football. 615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to text or call. Our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. And again, by the miracle of the suit helping me out, I can now read your texts, which gets to our question of the day. I was thinking on the way in what I wanted to ask. It's my final show. So last question of the day for me. I want to know, what is your comfort television show? This isn't what your favorite television show is, but what's the show that you can rewatch 100 times and,
I'm currently watching one.
You can fall asleep to it and you know all the jokes if it's a sitcom, and like I've been watching mine the last couple days and I want to know what yours is out there. So
I wonder if mine is the same as yours, because I've been watching it to soothe me.
It's very possible that it's the same. So 615-737-1025. What is your comfort television show? We will get to our answers coming up at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Going to be a fun show. Pretty much all Titans today. In the final hour, we're going to look back at Chase and Big Joe's interview with John Robinson. A lot of great nuggets in there from his appearance on Thursday. So we'll get to that in the 11 o'clock hour. But mostly a Titans show today. Titans are out there at St. Thomas Sports Park right now. They are practicing. So we'll give you updates there. Some updates on injuries earlier today. We will talk about that next. And also maybe some notable guys out there on the trade market. Could the Titans be involved? That is our show today here on 4's Company. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Tune into ESPN 94.9 The Fan today as the Nashville Sounds take on Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Pregame begins at 4:50. First pitch is at 5:05. Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app and at theGameNashville.com. Sounds baseball on ESPN 94.9 The Fan is presented by Twin Peaks and Family Leisure. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman, 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are going to get into Titans practice notes in a second. A couple of injury updates that we got courtesy of Terry McCormick. So we'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's go to our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Adam in Portland wants to get in on our question of the day. What is your comfort TV show? Adam, good morning. What you got for us?
The man.
Jay, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, that's big news. I think I willed that because I said it like 2 weeks ago. Then I was like, dude, you got to get your own show. Yeah, no, dude, look. So it's weird. So if you're talking about comfort TV, I like the show Alone a lot. I don't think I would do very well, probably like a day or two at tops in survival. But when it talks about like, as far as relaxation, my wife and I watched the Great British Baking Championships. Have you ever watched it?
I have not, but I have heard of it.
Food Network in general is just relaxing.
Well, it's not Food Network. It's on Netflix, but it is something where like they're all European and they all have different dialects. You can't fully understand what anybody's saying. You don't have a clue what they're making because it's all British food. But it takes us like 7 tries to finish one episode. We always pass out. Like the music's comforting. You never know what's going on, like chaos. So yeah, that's the show that we always revert to. Like especially if we hadn't been sleeping good or whatever, we'll put that on and it fixes it.
I like that. Thanks for the call, Adam. I like it. It is relaxing. I would say like that would kind of fall into, you said Food Network, like HGTV is kind of the same thing. Like
House
watching
Hunters,
House Hunters or Love It or List It. Like it's just such an easy background watch where it's like you don't really have to pay all that much attention.
Yeah.
But you could just have it on the background. So we'll continue to take your answers to our question of the day. What is your comfort TV show? We'll give our answers coming up at 10. Time to get into the Titans here. Titans training camp continuing to roll along. Crazy to think that we are 1 week away from the first preseason game for the Titans. It has snuck up on us fast. The Titans will be in Tampa Bay over the week for joint practices, and then they will play the preseason game again a week from today. Couple of updates. Terry McCormick tweeted out before practice today a little update on the 2 guys on PUP. And actually, we'll talk about this later on SportsCenter right now. Jeremy Fowler, I guess, is at the Titans facility today. But updates, L'Jarius Sneed, Lloyd Cushenberry, both could be back the week of the Atlanta joint practices. So not this upcoming week, but the week after. That would be a big sigh of relief for this team because at center, like I like Corey Levin and, you know,
Jackson Slater's coming along, man.
But do you
He's
want
fun
to
to
throw out a
watch.
rookie 5th-round pick
Right.
in his first game? Probably not. So getting Lloyd Cushenberry back in the middle of that offensive line is huge. And then we've mentioned L'Jarius Sneed that, yeah, I don't think we're expecting him to be all pro L'Jarius Sneed, but if he can be your top cornerback, that is a huge step for this defense that has gotten a lot thinner at that position since the beginning of last year.
Yeah, I mean, for L'Jarius Sneed's sake, hopefully he makes that full recovery like they're talking about, but it's not the on the field thing, it's the off the field thing for me. Because if something happens in the middle of the season and he's gone, then Titans are back to square one what they were without him during training camp. So I mean, that's where you go with that. As for Lloyd Cushenberry, this is, I'd say, a crucial time for him and Cam Ward because there's a certain relationship, and Parker Kelly can allude to this, next week, but like there is a certain relationship between a quarterback and a center when it comes to snapping out of the shotgun or just the snap exchange from under center. I've seen it countless times.
I can allude
been a
to
part
that
of it.
too.
Have you really?
I've been there.
You've been under center?
No.
Oh.
I can allude to things too, Frazier.
I know.
I've been out there.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying in general, like from a player's perspective.
From a quarterback.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying from a player's perspective. There is a relationship between a quarterback and a center, and it's that chemistry you got to build and build and build. And with Lloyd Cushenberry being sidelined for the most part with this injury, it's just there's going to be a small adjustment period, but luckily it'll be in, against Tampa. So
right. And getting him back is you want it to happen sooner rather than later because if he came back like after the preseason and had to ramp up heading into the regular season, you're right. The exchange may not be great with Cam Ward. So getting him back about halfway through training camp, halfway through the preseason would be huge for the Titans.
And maybe that's why his passes have been kind of low for the most part coming off the line, because normally, I mean, again, this is a quarterback thing that I've never been a quarterback, but I've seen it with my own eyes. When the exchange happens, say out of shotgun or under center, not under center, but under, out of shotgun, that ball, let's say if it's low, you have the tendency to go quick, and it's more lower towards the offensive line shoulder or head.
And inaccurate.
Yeah, inaccurate. So basically, if there is not a good snap towards the quarterback, it has to be almost right at the number. It's kind of like a punt for the most part. But, these guys are all professionals. But as for a rookie quarterback, it's definitely a curveball.
Connor, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the rest of the offensive line seemingly has looked good in camp so far.
Really good.
Like Dan Moore, I haven't heard a lot of complaints, which I think is all you need from Dan Moore. Latham Skoronski.
Yeah, Skoronski's been the one I'm really impressed with.
Right.
Especially as a guard. I thought he was solid last year. He's finally starting to show, granted, take it with a grain of salt. It's training camp against your own team.
Right.
So we'll kind of see what he's made of here. I believe, isn't it joint practices start next week?
Yes. I want to say Wednesday of next week is the first one.
In Tampa, then in Atlanta, and then they come back here with Minnesota.
Are they doing joint practices with Minnesota?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're doing them all 3 weeks?
I think so.
That seems excessive.
Good for them. I mean, to his point about, Skoronski, it all looks at Denard Wilson showing all these different fronts, just throwing the kitchen sink at Cam Ward. It's not only making Cam Ward better, but we all are talking about the offensive line. It's making the offensive line better as a whole, because they are seeing every single detail from that defense. And nonetheless, if the Titans have one of the best fronts in all of the NFL this year, then the offensive line's ready for it.
You can't, at least in my opinion, I don't think you can blame the offensive line right now for the struggles Cam Ward's had on the field. They have been pretty protective. Obviously, they've given up some what would be sacks. They're not going full tackle just because can't injure the quarterback during the preseason. But they've given up a few sacks. But ultimately, I think Cam Ward's struggles right now are just his decision-making. Some of his throws have been questionable. I think, to Trevor Madge's point, he said this a couple days ago, Cam's kind of testing his waters, seeing what he can get away with. He's been throwing across the middle a lot, and some of those balls are just batted down or tipped, and some of these picks aren't even his fault if you go watch, but you cannot blame the offensive line.
No.
For the struggles Cam Ward's facing. Now, I think getting Lloyd Cushenberry back could only be beneficial, not only because it protects Cam Ward, but it allows your new offensive line to gel together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Cushenberry is a leader. You need him to gel with your new, J.C. Latham is playing a new position. Peter Skoronski is coming into his own. Then you have new pieces in Dan Moore. You need all of those guys to gel together. And I think Lloyd Cushenberry is the key to doing that.
Yeah. And Peter Skoronski even said it with Chase and McJoe, like, the offensive line, it's not your individual contractors. You're building a house. It's a cohesive unit.
Right.
You can't just be one by one. And to his point on Cam Ward throwing over the middle, one wide receiver in particular on this Titans lineup right now is Tyler Lockett. The reason why he's been in the league for so long is because he hasn't caught passes over the middle. He doesn't take big hits. He knows how to play the game. He plays the hashes on the outside. In between the hashes, you run the ball. Outside the hashes, that's where he's at.
I do believe Tyler Lockett does get, knocked a little bit for avoiding those hits. Like, it seems like he's always hitting X when the ball's coming. He's doing the possession catch.
I'd like to apologize. Apparently, I'm mistaken. There is no Minnesota practice.
That's what I thought. I was like, usually they don't do more than 2 weeks of joint practice.
But they're not. Neither of them are here.
They're both on the road. Yeah. So it'll be at Tampa next week, joint practices, at Atlanta the week after, and then I guess Minnesota, they'll come back here, work by themselves, and then play that final preseason game.
Yeah.
The offensive line is going to be, again, we've said it before, Cam Ward is the focal point of this season. Everybody is looking at Cam Ward. He's the number 1 overall pick. He's the quarterback, obviously. But the offensive line is next up, and it's going to have a large effect on what Cam Ward does as a rookie this year. Do want to mention some updates from practice. Cam Ward apparently is looking pretty good today. And again, I'm not out there, not seeing it with my own eyes, but based on what we're seeing on Twitter, Cam Ward apparently just hit a deep ball to Calvin Ridley, and then a couple minutes later found Bryce Oliver down the other sideline.
Another one that has impressed me every single time he's out there.
Yeah, I will take back my thoughts of Xavier Restrepo making this roster.
Yeah, me too.
I think we all kind of got a little bit ahead of ourselves in minicamp because we were hearing that he was looking really good in minicamp, but Bryce Oliver is clearly the better player, and he's your 6th guy. There could be a 7th guy who makes the team.
And
I don't think it's Xavier Restrepo. Yeah. And we'll get to that coming up next. 615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to chime in. Tune into 1025 The Game Nashville app, or theGameNashville.com for NASCAR coverage of the Iowa Corn 350 tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Coverage is presented by Michael Waltrip Signature Floor. Rev up your day on the Michael Waltrip Signature Floor, located on the 3rd floor of Hank Williams Jr. Boogie Bar. Wall-to-wall sports, cold drinks, and great food to fuel the fun. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you on this Saturday morning. 4's Company, 1025, 1063 The Game. This fall, live at the Pinnacle at Nashville Yards, Tim McGraw will perform in Trinitix Rock the Cradle. This event is sure to be a great time celebrating a great cause. Proceeds from the event will support newborns and moms at Ascension St. Thomas Midtown. Get your tickets now at rockthecradlenashville.org. Kind of like a Game of Thrones version of the weekend right there.
This is the kind of stuff like if it was reading time in grade school that the teacher would put on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sit on your
just
beanbag
in the background.
Chill and read Diary of a Wimpy Kid or something like that.
I like it. Yeah, the loot version of Blinding Lights by the weekend. Back into the Titans here. They are out practicing right now, continuing training camp. And we were just saying how crazy it is that we're a week away from the first preseason game. As long as the offseason is in football, it does get here quick. When it does, like when training camp starts, it feels like you get to the regular season pretty fast. So Titans will be in Tampa next week for joint practices. Then we'll play the Buccaneers on Saturday. Going to be fun to see Cam Ward go up against another team's defense, because it is easy and I don't know if I will call it an excuse from Brian Callahan, but it's easy for Brian Callahan to go up there when Cam Ward has a bad day and be like, well, it's Denard's defense. Denard's defense made it really tough. We're throwing a lot at him. It's easy to use that as an excuse. You can't use it when he's facing a different team. So I'm excited for that. we were talking wide receivers, and Bryce Oliver, I think, is a lock to make the 53. I think you've got 6 locks at wide receiver. Obviously, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson.
What? Keep going.
Alec Iamaner,
What?
Jim DK, and Bryce Oliver. I think you got 6 locks. Those guys are making the team. The question is, do you keep a 7th? And I think all of us would have thought if they keep 7, it's probably Restrepo heading into training camp. I think it's James Prochet.
Yeah.
He is a better returner and probably a more dynamic receiver at this point. He had a really good day yesterday. Were you out there yesterday, Connor?
No, I was here all day.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I was here with you.
Right. Well, practice was in the morning. You could have done both.
I was here with him.
But
it was a long day.
Based on what we saw yesterday, I think it was a good day for James Prochet. And right now, I'd say he's the leader in the clubhouse if they decide to keep 7. I think Restrepo ends up on the practice squad.
That's fair.
You don't think anyone will go out and claim him?
They had 3 days to draft him, and no one did.
That's true.
And it's not like he's lighting it up at training camp.
I put out a tweet a couple of days ago at practice. I said it's pretty notable to see what Xavier Restrepo is doing because he's out there mostly taking 3rd string reps. That means Tim Boyle is throwing him the football. That means, he's getting some reps with Brandon Allen. Does that impress you any? I haven't seen many, offensive drives where Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo are on the field together. Now, he may pop up in like receiver quarterback drills where it's just a one-on-one, maybe not even a defense, just running routes. But I haven't seen very many instances where Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo are on the field. And that means they're not even really considering him being a part of that first team offense.
Right. Yeah. If he was being considered for a roster spot, he would at least be getting reps with Ward at some point, be getting reps with I'm sure he's getting some reps with the
He is, but
like it seems
Rotation.
like he's just a camp body right now based on how he's being used.
I mean, your first team, you're obviously seeing Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson out there. The most of these rookie wide receivers you're seeing in the first team is Alec Iamaner and Jim DK coming in. And both of them have produced pretty significantly, especially Alec Iamaner. I am really excited for him. He has I think TD and Parker both decided he'll be the starting X by the middle of the season. I'm not on that train yet. I don't know if I can get there yet.
I mean, he might be week 1. Who else is going to?
Yeah.
Is it Van Jefferson? Like, I would rather see Alec Iamaner out there week 1 than Van Jefferson.
The thing about Alec Iamaner is he's not the fastest guy and he's not the strongest guy, but God, he's such an elite route runner.
Yeah.
Like he just can make a guy miss every time he runs a route because he's so committed to the route. Like I'll put it in college football terms. You know how you have in the game, you have the elite route runners. Mm-hmm. They have like 85 speed or something like that.
Yeah, but
that's him.
Put a foot in the ground and they're going to make you go in the opposite direction.
Yeah. And once he gets the ball, it's free for all. Like he's just taking off and putting the moves on people and making them miss. So I'm very excited for him. Jim DK, I think can be a good player, can be a good wide receiver. He just needs to work on his hands, getting balls and grabbing them. But he has the speed. The speed is there, and the footwork is there.
Is it fair to say that DK, and this isn't his ceiling, but maybe as a rookie could be your Khalif Raymond type guy?
That's what I see him as.
Like, he's not going to be out there and play 75% of the snaps.
Yeah.
But you're going to put him in there.
Tajay Sharp.
He can take an end around, and he can be your play action deep shot guy of like, everybody remembers the one in the Ravens game that made it 14-0 in the playoffs of like, hey, sudden change. We're at the 45, just got a turnover. Let's take a play action deep shot here. DK's the guy who has the speed to get over the top outside of like
Chris Moore. Just like Chris Moore.
I could see that. To your point about James Prochet, though, I remember when he was at SMU and then, played for Cleveland and Baltimore, he was a really good returner. And I think he could be looked at as the Khalif Raymond. I really do.
That's a good point.
I think just his size, the way he's shifty out of the backfield, and also just in the slot, I think he's one of those guys you can keep your eye on, not only just for punt team, but also on the offense. It's just.
I think if you had to ask me who would be the starting kick and punt returner today, it would be Jim DK. Just because I think there's more upside there. And I think you've seen him do it in college at Florida. He has experience in that area, and so does James Prochet. but I just think there's more upside to having Jim DK as your returner.
That's fair.
Well, and if Jim DK is your returner, you don't have to keep James Prochet.
Right.
If he's earned the spot and you want to keep him, you can. But if DK is your returner, you don't need to keep Prochet too, and that can open up a spot somewhere else. Maybe you keep an extra corner. Maybe you keep one of those extra inside linebackers who, I mean, it's just such a log jam between 2 and 5 in that room. So we'll see how it works out with the wide receivers. I like what I'm seeing, like what I'm hearing about what the wide receivers look like. Not that I think it's going to be an elite room by any means. I don't think this wide receiver room will be
and it's not very deep.
Right. It won't be anything more than
But
an average to below average group. But I think there is some excitement in there with some of the young guys of what they could do throughout the year.
yeah, I'd agree to that. I'd just say primarily, oh my goodness. I'd say primarily to the point that there's a lot of versatility in this wide receiver room, especially when you talk about Bryce Oliver, James Prochet, Chim DK. Like all those guys are punt returners, kick returners, but can also play that slot position if need be.
Getting more updates from Titans practice. It seems like it has been a good day from Cam Ward based on what I've seen. Parker Kelly, our good friend, just tweeted that Cam Ward got the defense to jump with a hard count and then went and had some words with the defense after he did so. So
apparently energy is way, way better today.
That's what I've heard as well. I'm gonna take the very surface level explanation. It's not as hot out there today.
Yeah, it is.
Like, is that all it is? Is like they're not just dying in the heat today because it's only
true.
like 82, 83.
It was beautiful this morning. I ate breakfast out on the porch. It was like 76 degrees.
Heard the birds chirping, huh?
Birds chirping.
Nutrition?
Sun was nutrition. Mom made blueberry muffins today.
Oh wow.
So a little bit of protein and I had chocolate milk for the protein. So that was good. Weston Hermitage, rejoice. You have nutrition today.
Okay.
Jeff Simmons, very lively and verbally active right now. Titans need it, according to Paul Kaharski. So
trash talk, baby.
it is not that trash talk is important. And it's like they've made a whole big deal out of trash talk and Cam Ward giving it to Jeffrey Simmons and Simmons giving it right back. It's like that's not going to win you any football games. I'm sorry, it's not. It's great to talk about, and it does help with the camaraderie.
But it shouldn't be the focal point of your entire press conference.
Right.
It helps with the media.
Cam and Jeff are out there trash talking each other. We had a great day. I'm like, come on, man.
I haven't brought it up. Did you see they were out fishing on Thursday?
Yeah.
Really?
And then Cam took like a nonchalant picture, but he was very clearly looking at the camera, expecting it.
Jeff Simmons put out a picture of him. Like he said he wanted a nonchalant picture.
I'll show you during the break.
I mean, that's just odd. I don't know. I think the whole Brian Callahan thing and the rah-rah energy, I don't know. I'm looking right through it and just saying Titans media is just getting all their B-roll footage they need for their little docuseries they're doing. I don't know. That's probably just me being negative, but that's just what I see.
I mean, it's always going to be about what they do on Sundays. Yeah. And we can have all these conversations now about, oh, it's low energy. Oh, the energy's back and they're trash talking and none of it matters if they go out to Mile High in week 1
Call
and
a low T center if you have a problem.
48-0. Yeah. Or if they go in and upset the Broncos in Denver. Like none of this is going to be the reason for that.
I'll tell you this, the music out there sucks.
Really?
That's part of the problem.
I think TD would have a problem with you saying that.
Yeah,
TD always, I love that in his little notes, it'll be like, Cam Ward hit Bryce Oliver in 7-on-7 for a touchdown. Femi Oladejo made a nice play in the backfield. X song came on as they started this period of drills. I'm like,
well, TD and I have very different tastes in music, so that may be part of it. But they have like a DJ out there and he'll play like random country songs and then combine it with like Jay-Z. I'm like, this doesn't work.
I need to get out there. I just to
come with me next week
to hear.
Well, you probably can't.
Yeah, we'll see. It depends on the time.
You'll be on the air.
Yeah. Well, so will you.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't go next week.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. If you want to text or call again, our question of the day today, what is your comfort TV show? We've gotten a couple answers on our text line. Would love to hear from you. Our phone line's driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Join 1025 The Game at the Holiday Inn Nashville Airport tomorrow from 1 to 5 p.m. for the Dude Perfect inspired open house. We will be on site giving away Dude Perfect tickets and Nashville Sounds family 4-packs plus games, prizes, and body armor. It is 9:45 on a Saturday, which means it is time for Connor Newt's segment. He's going to take over the show after this here on 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Perfect day to use this.
Very good. Very well done. It is time for Newt's Notes here on 4's Company. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Jake Wallman. But this segment's all about Connor Newt.
I mean, every time I hear this, it's finally The Rock has come back to 102.5. So I'm young in this business. I'm learning things, especially being at camp. But there is one thing that's going on across the interwebs in the world of the Titans that is just grinding my gears. And I'm not going to name names and I'm not going to point fingers because mainly I don't want to give said people any clout. But if you are not at Titans practice and you don't even live in this area, please don't put out practice reactions acting like you were out there and retweet every single person's tweets. There are people that are out there saying, according to multiple reports, Gunnar Helm looked great on the practice field today. Yeah, you know whose report that was? That was mine. That blew up on Twitter, and now it's, I'm fine being quoted. I'm fine if you want to credit me, but don't act like you were there when you clearly were not. And I get that's some people's shtick that, well, I live in Midwest Ohio, but I still cover the Tennessee Titans. But don't do that, man. It's media etiquette. It's even these people that aren't actual journalists or aren't credited. It's like random burners on Twitter that are Titans look great today, except Cam Ward had a bad day. I was there. Yeah, you bought a ticket. You aren't a credentialed journalist like some of us are. And I'm not even the most experienced person there. I'm probably the least experienced on that field. But it just drives me insane that people think this is such a easy job and such a easy thing to get to, because what you're doing by doing that is taking away opportunities for someone who actually is there and someone who actually is in this field and is a journalist. Again, I'm young in this business. I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to accomplish. But this is just what I'm noticing. Like, please, out of respect for the people that are there, I speak on behalf of Paul Kaharski and Teron Davenport and all of our friends that are out there at practice, Parker Kelly, all of our friends that are out there covering the Titans. Please just be respectful. Please don't, act like you were there. It's not just Titans. It's Preds too. Like, we get that all the time during Preds season. You have these know-it-all burner accounts that are saying, Luke Evangelista scores in the final 2 minutes of the second period, and they're not even journalists. Like, please just leave that to the people that are actually paid to do this and actually worked hard to do this. That's just my 2 cents. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to point fingers. It's just frustrating to me.
Now, it is the way sports media is trending, where you get these,
everyone's a journalist,
the podcasts and the aggregate accounts. Like, I'm looking at one right now, actually, of just like, there's no name on a lot of these accounts, but it's just like, oh, we're a Titans fan account. And I mean, they don't have any credentials, so they have to aggregate other people's reports. But I agree with you. Like, it's fine that they do that, but like, credit, like, according to Teron Davenport, Cam Ward had a great day at practice today or something like that. Like,
it's misleading. It's these people that go on and put out, 2-minute videos on TikTok. Here's my reaction to practice. And then they weren't there because they don't live here or they aren't credentialed enough to get here. It's just, and there's no other way to watch practice for the Titans right now. You got to be there in person. You can't piece it all together through random clips on Twitter like some of these people are, because you don't see the things that some of us see. You don't see the good plays that Cam Ward makes, or even on the other end, you don't see some of the bad plays that he makes that maybe he's not the focal point of a bad gain or, an incomplete pass, but he may be the cause of that.
Or the body language in between plays.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't see these things. You can't put these together through Twitter. You got to be there in person. And I think by not being there in person, that's one thing, but acting like you are, I think that's just disrespectful to the game. Not to the game of football, but to the game of journalism. Because all of us are journalists, I would consider. You guys both have degrees in journalism. I'm getting there. I'll have that in May. Is that not disrespectful to what all you've worked for, that some guy that works at a McDonald's out in, Southern Indiana is doing your job for free?
I mean, in a roundabout way, I'd answer it with I don't know if y'all saw the Jeff Passan Twitter thread yesterday. He just grilled somebody about how this same topic, about how, if I'm going to be reporting this, you don't know baseball, you don't know scouts. Well, he goes, well, I got this information from scouts, so I can report about this. It's okay.
right.
So like, if you don't know the scouts, don't report about it. Kind of what Connor's saying. I'd respond that way. Respond with credibility and not with,
and maybe
hatred.
I'm not the best person to be ranting about this just because of the little experience I have. But in the experiences I have, I'm on this show every week.
Right.
I'm at practice. I've missed two. I've missed 2 practices, and both of them were this week for different circumstances. I'm out there pretty much every day. I know what I see. I report the facts, and I report them the best as I can. And again, maybe I'm not the best person to be ranting about this, because Teron is a much more credible journalist than I am when it comes to the Titans. PK is much more credible than I am. But I'm getting my name out there. I'm gaining traction through what I'm doing. And by these people coming in and, stealing my thunder, for lack of a better term, I think it's just disrespectful to every journalist that's out there trying to make a name for themselves, or even if they do have a name for themselves, trying to keep that reputation. Don't do that. Don't, as the kids say, don't stream snipe. Don't try and take credibility from
New
someone.
one.
No,
Stream snipe.
I know.
Write that down.
I know Paul Kaharski is big on, like, if you're not covering the game from the stadium, don't live tweet it.
I don't like to do that either.
That's definitely something that I understand of, like, hey, if you're sitting there on your couch like every other fan, don't tweet like you're at the game covering it.
Now, I'm okay if you put out a comment every once in a while,
Right.
like, oh, what a bad pass from Cam Ward.
It's different.
That's different.
Like, I know there are people out there who don't go and sit in the press box for every game, but their respected opinion, like, they can put out like, man, what a great throw from Cam Ward. That's fine. But to be like, holding penalty on 1st and 10 pushes the Titans back. They'll have 1st and 20.
13:50 left in the first
Right.
quarter.
It's like
come on.
live tweeting play-by-play of what's going on when you're sitting at home. Like, I understand the gripe about that. It all kind of seems like I understand there are people out there who are probably like, this is old man yelling at clouds.
Oh,
like, who
very
cares
much.
what other people tweet? But like, I can understand for you who, got up early, went over to
for free
to St. Thomas Sports Park for free, and worked hard to get these interviews and get this insight and watch the practice, to have somebody else just kind of pull it off you and just try and use it for their own gain. So I get it.
It's frustrating. And I'll repeat, maybe I'm not the best person to rant about this, just because I'm young, I'm inexperienced, but this is where people like us learn, is through experience. I'm not going to get the reps I need and the reps I think I deserve if some random no-name on Twitter is mooching off of the reports I'm gathering.
I mute most of those accounts.
I do too, but it still doesn't work because, they can still see you and be like, according to reports,
Right.
Xavier Restrepo is taking 3rd string reps. Yeah, that was my report. Where's my credit?
I look at it. Excuse me.
God bless you.
Pulling a retro.
Yeah, geez.
I look at it as just primarily don't even acknowledge it. I just go about my day. I know it sounds just very plain Jane to say, but I just tweet what I need to tweet. If it's like NSC, just tweet what I need to tweet. Go on with it. Someone steals it, so be it.
Right.
Because if your reports are better than whatever it is on Twitter, continue doing what you're doing, because you're going to stand out over whatever they're doing.
It's a good point.
So,
speaking of reports from practice, Paul Kaharski putting out there that the Titans red zone period did not get off to a great start. False start holding. So it is 1st and 25 from the 35.
That'll go in my 2-minute practice review video that I'll put out.
You should do it. Find a green screen and just overlay.
Well, I'm going to go in my
St. Thomas
car.
Sports Park.
I'm going to go in my car and make it look like I was there, but I actually wasn't.
It's a good idea.
That's what one person in particular does.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. Another good edition of Newt's Notes.
Your last one.
I know. But Newt's Notes will continue.
Oh, it will.
Without, I have nothing to do with Newt's Notes. I just toss it to you.
Point guard.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. 1025 The Game and Souls for Souls have teamed up for back to school fundraiser. Souls for the 615 to provide new shoes for kids experiencing homelessness in Nashville. Help a child in Middle Tennessee step into the new school year with confidence by donating $20 for a new pair of athletic shoes. For more information and to donate, visit thegamenashville.com/shoes. Souls for the 615 is sponsored by Macero and 12 South. Go check them out for handcrafted cocktails, bold plates, great happy hour, and elevated hospitality. Plenty coming up in the next hour of the show. Still with you until noon. Don't forget, in the 11 o'clock hour, we'll do Where Are They Now, which is it's quickly turning into America's favorite game show. And I think it'll be a fun one today.
You're not taking it from us. It stays here.
That is intellectual property of 4's company.
It's copyrighted.
Of the Saturday show. I will not be stealing that.
If you do, we're sending you a cease and desist. Check your mailbox.
I would deserve it. I didn't come up with it. It
was actually Frazier.
Yeah, and
Thank
Dr.
you.
Crane came up with that. So yes, it's
See,
his
credit where credit is due.
It's his intellectual property. Even though we did
it's tweaked. It's okay.
we used it for fill-in shows.
That's okay.
But it is property of 4's company.
I am kind of curious with Where Are They Now
It happened in a dream.
Well, no, Celebrity Birthdays
came
both
to me in a dream.
competing for the spot of America's favorite game show. Where do you sit?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're the foremost expert in both of them.
Call me Humpty Dumpty. I'm on the middle of the wall. I just don't fall.
Okay.
He falls somewhere.
I don't
Nice,
fall.
Tupac.
You have to pick a side at some point.
All the king's horses and all the king's men.
I just
They're coming.
have, I'm not going to say what
He's
I'm going to say.
libertarian.
No, no.
He's Switzerland.
Yeah, there you go.
Just don't involve me. That's what he is.
615-737-1025. So where are they now going to come up at 11 o'clock? We'll also dive into the Chase and Big Joe interview with former Titans general manager John Robinson in the 11 o'clock hour. But coming up next, let's get to our question of the day. What is your comfort television show? We will give our answers and look at yours next on our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman, 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Forest Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Second hour on this Saturday. We are brought to you by LPL Financial Nashville and Patrick Conger. LPL Financial Nashville is your partner for whatever your future holds. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman, broadcasting live from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios. Home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Plenty to get to on the Titans. Practice going on over at St. Thomas Sports Park right now. We'll continue to give you updates on anything notable coming out of Titans training camp. Also, some big trade rumors around the NFL. Could the Titans be involved? We'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. But first, it's time for our question of the day. I was in charge today. I want to know, what is your comfort TV show? We've got some good answers on our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. You can give your answer, 615-737-1025. but let's give ours. Nick Frazier, what's your comfort TV show? Rewatchable, just makes you feel good.
Yeah, we're talking Food Network earlier. Probably Guy Fieri, Triple D.
Really?
I could go with that any day of the week. Man versus Food was a big comfort.
I loved Man versus
Yeah.
Food.
Adam Richman. He actually wrote a book. I've heard it's really good. I need to go buy that.
Are you talking about grocery games?
No. Adam Richman. He did Man versus Food.
No, the Guy Fieri show.
No, just straight up Triple D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then-
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
yes.
I've
Thank you
never
for the
seen that one.
clarification. The other one that I've been watching recently on Roku is Dog the Bounty Hunter. Huge.
Oh,
Dog the
I
Bounty
remember
Hunter
Dog
guy.
the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, has his own channel and everything. I didn't know this.
I had no idea.
It's 24/7, like maybe one commercial every hour.
Wow.
It's awesome. Nonstop. Dog the Bounty Hunter, catching fugitives. You miss your bail bond. Yeah, that's it.
I love it. I do like some of those. I guess there's a reality shows, right? Like food shows, house hunting shows, like
Live PD.
Those are good, but I'll give mine. How I Met Your Mother is mine. That's
one of mine.
There's a few that would be close. Like The Office is definitely
The Office
up
is
there.
mine. Parks and Rec is one of mine.
Modern Family is a good one.
I haven't watched that all the way through.
Oh, you have to.
But every time I watch it, I think it's hilarious.
Modern Family, I think, is the funniest sitcom that's come out in the last 25 years.
I mean,
It's fair.
There's so many good characters. Like Phil Dunphy, I think it's just freaking hilarious.
The writing on that show is just genius.
Brilliant.
Like some of the jokes that they think of and the way they deliver them is so perfect. Most of it's like they do get a little too into the miscommunication. Like that's how all of the shows are. It's like, oh, Phil thinks this is going on, but Gloria thinks this is going on. How are they going to sort it out? Like that's how most of the shows
That's every
go.
sitcom ever.
But it's like it is so well written. Modern Family, I wouldn't say it's my comfort show. It is really funny. How I Met Your Mother, I think I've watched How I Met Your Mother all the way through like 8 times. So
I usually stop at the last season.
see, I don't hate the last season. I don't love it. It's just so different from
The
other
finale,
ones.
I mean, the finale was great, and then you get the last 30
Yeah.
seconds, and we're like, come on, man.
yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the way they finished it, but I do think just like the first 8 seasons of that show is choice. And I've been watching season 3 the last couple days, just rolling through.
Good one.
Netflix asked me if I'm still watching. Ask again
You know what I
later.
have-
Yeah.
You know what I have been watching, and I don't know if I would consider it a comfort show, but it is so funny and so raunchy. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
See, I want to get into that.
it is
that
so funny.
And Curb Your Enthusiasm, I've seen a few episodes of, and I kind of want to watch them. But it feels like a lot because those are long shows. They've got like 19 seasons
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that. So
it's overwhelming.
it's like, do I think I'll ever get through all of this? Probably not.
yeah.
Another good one, which I haven't watched in a while, maybe I'll get back into it. The League.
I was in my brain. Yes,
That is,
I've heard of that. What is that?
it's about a fantasy football
Fantasy
league.
football.
Like you said,
okay.
raunchy, and that just made me think of that. Like,
Yes,
it's so good. It's and like they use real NFL players in it sometimes.
really?
And, like
I
the-
want to watch that now.
like
then.
it's really good. You should watch it.
it was like in
Um,
Joseph Adai's prime with the Colts.
yeah.
Jamal Charles, all that.
right. Like who's Trent or no Josh Cribbs
Yeah,
is
Josh
in it one
Cribbs.
time.
I'll definitely watch
No,
that.
very good. You should definitely watch it. Jake Wallman, what's your comfort TV show?
I've got kind of a list. I'm with you on Modern Family. I'm with you on The Office and Parks and Rec. Seinfeld is up there,
a good
especially
one.
like the old ones, like in season like 2 or 3, where George just can't hold a job. One of my favorites is where he's at the unemployment office and he's trying to like create this fake Vandalay Industries company where he's
Art
like,
Vandalay. Yes,
Yes.
I love Seinfeld, man.
A few that you guys didn't mention. One that's actually a reboot. I've been really into King of the Hill lately.
I hate King of the Hill.
All right, we're just gonna ignore that comment.
Well,
from
it's your
Connor.
documentary, so
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I think you would like it.
See, I've never gotten into the cartoons. Chase, don't kill me if you're listening. Like I've never watched a full episode of The Simpsons.
I hate The Simpsons.
Um,
I think
What's
it's
wrong with
terrible.
you guys?
I know, and
I
I
don't like it.
I do think it from what I've seen and heard, like, it does look very funny. It's just I've never gotten into it. I watched a little bit of Family Guy at one time. Like, I tried to get into it.
I can't watch that one all the way through because I think it's funnier if you just tune in out of context.
Yeah.
And the newer episodes of Family Guy, I can't really get into those. I'm more of like and the same with The Simpsons, like the first like 10, 11 seasons are where it's at.
It has like a sweet spot.
Yeah. Like the jokes are just funnier. And another one that I've gotten into, so my mom and dad introduced me and my wife to this on the Chip and Joanna Gaines network, Magnolia Network.
Yeah, Magnolia.
There's a show called Back to the Frontier where 3 families go, I think it's in Colorado or something, and just pure wilderness, living like a family would in the late 1800s.
Interesting.
I'm a big fan of those like reality TV shows. Like The Amazing Race is my jam.
I used to watch a lot of Amazing Race, Big Brother, Survivor. I haven't been able to get into as much lately.
Easy, Phelan.
What?
You're Sam.
No, I haven't watched a full season of Survivor in at least 10 years. Maybe not 10, 7 or 8.
Survivor's fallen off.
Since high school, I haven't watched a full season of Survivor. Big Brother, I was pretty into. Like, I watched Big Brother all the way through college. I can't do it. 3 episodes a week it's hard to do. Let's go to our phone lines, see if we've got some good answers here. Our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Dave says Downton Abbey, Doc Martin, Robot Chicken. I have not seen any of those.
Robot Chicken's funny.
I have heard of that. Jay from Laverne has 5. Rolled them out. Ballers. I have watched Ballers. That one's pretty good.
With the final boss.
Yep. All American.
With the worst route running you will ever see.
All American, the first 2 seasons, I think, were really good.
Yeah.
Cheesy. For sure cheesy, but entertaining.
Then it got political.
It got really stupid after that. Landman, I've heard that's really good.
I want to watch
that's on like Paramount or something like
Yeah,
that.
Bob Thornton.
Tulsa King, haven't seen that one.
Oh, that, yes.
Mayor of Kingstown. Either.
Dwight Manfredi.
Mayor of Kingstown is Jeremy Renner.
Right, I have seen that.
I haven't watched it.
I
think it's like a kind of like a Godfather kind of show.
It's a Paramount one as well.
Yeah.
Joey from Bellevue seemingly likes gory shows. He says Dexter,
I haven't seen that.
which isn't that Dexter's like he cuts up the bodies and stuff like that. Like I haven't seen it,
Yeah,
but he says The Boys too, which I love The
Fantastic.
Boys, but
you can only take it in small.
do not
doses,
watch
though.
it in public. I made the mistake one time of watching an episode of The Boys on a plane, and I think anybody who could see my screen probably thought that I was a psychopath.
Oh,
Um,
no. Hopefully it wasn't on a Vandy plane.
It was not.
Okay,
No,
there you
it
go.
was not. Justified. Kyle in Cookville says, I don't know if I've seen that. I think I've heard of it.
Unfamiliar.
I definitely haven't watched it. Josh from White House says it's not a TV show, but any of the woodworking channels I follow on YouTube.
Is that
I'm
your
sure-
burner?
I'm
That's
sure
not
there
my
are a
Did you
lot
do
of
that?
people
No.
who like that. Like, I know there are people who watch a lot of like fishing or hunting YouTube channels. Like, I'm sure that would work in there.
Yep.
What
And
are
then
y'all's
watching.
thoughts on Trailer Park Boys? Or
I've
is
never
that-
seen it.
Never seen it.
Never seen-
Really? I have seen that one.
I tried to get into it. I think I tried to watch like the first season and it just didn't click with me.
For me, you got to watch it in small doses, like they're talking about.
Okay.
I think that's kind of what. Now they made movies to it, which were all right,
Really?
but they were not good.
What about Workaholics with like,
I haven't seen that. I do like. Is Adam Devine is in
Adam
that? I
Devine's
do
in
like
it.
him.
and then I can't
Um,
remember the 2 other guys' names. It's kind of like a play off The Office, but it's not like The Office at all.
I just found out who Adam Devine is married to, and it shocked me, and I can't remember who it is. Let me find it. 7820 on the text line says That 70 Show. That is a
is
good.
good.
one. That honestly, I think That 70 Show was the first show I ever like watched all the way through by myself.
I haven't watched it all the way through, but I've seen.
Chloe Bridges.
I need to see her.
Okay.
Let's rate women.
No,
On
this
the
is
air.
not what I'm doing.
That's not what he's doing.
She's from something that
Familiar face. Yeah.
Anyway, yes. That 70 Show. Did you watch that 90 show?
I heard it was
No.
terrible.
I didn't. I was not a big fan.
I heard it was awful.
No, I'm trying to think of some other ones
Oh,
I'll watch.
I know who she is. So I'm gonna sound really stupid here. She's from Camp Rock 2. She's the girl. She's the girl that Nick Jonas likes in that movie. I can't believe I'm talking about that, but I saw that the other day and I was like, oh my God, that's so funny that they got married. Anyway, that 70 Show, good one. Eric Foreman,
Yes.
Red Foreman, one of the great TV characters of all time, for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, 2.5 Men's a good one too.
Mhm.
The
See,
old ones.
I've seen 2.5 Men, but that's one that I've never watched like
I haven't watched it all the
in
way
sequence.
full, but I mean, you watch it out of context, and it's just Charlie Sheen is super funny on that show.
Yeah. I like Charlie Sheen. Is it John Cryer's the other
Yeah.
guy?
John Cryer. And then they replace Charlie Sheen after he gets some
with Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton
yeah.
Kutcher,
Mhm.
and that's where it falls off apparently.
Yeah. After winning
Plus,
with Charlie Sheen.
characters grow out of their characters, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean,
But Charlie Sheen's character in that show was just Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Like he was.
there's been
Have you ever seen Reba?
No.
My sister loves it.
My wife's a big Reba McEntire fan.
My sister
And
loves it. I can't really get into
I've
it.
watched a few episodes. It's not bad.
I've never seen it, but plenty of good answers on our text line. I'm looking through. Jay from Laverne adds Bar Rescue. I've never seen. I think I may have seen an episode or two, but I do like those shows.
I love just the nonchalant, make me this like a whiskey sour, and the guy's not making the whiskey sour right. He's not doing the right dosage. So he grab the glass and just throw it on the wall. I think that's hilarious. That's exactly what people need.
John Taffer kicking open his driver's side door to run into a bar.
He is, you know what? He's the Paul Heyman of Food Network.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, you need to look him up. You're like, oh my, yeah, this is Paul Heyman.
Yeah, it does look like him.
Yeah.
I think.
I'll look him up in the break.
All right,
One more.
Yep.
Impractical Jokers.
Oh, that is a great comfort
Mhm.
show because
not anymore, but like
Right,
when
but,
Joe
like,
was still on there.
original like first 4 or 5 seasons of that show.
Comfort.
Comfort show. Again, one of those you just have on the background. It just makes you feel good to hear all the laughing and like
Yeah,
maybe you listen in for a little bit. It's
it's
good.
one of those you put on while you do some work, and you like,
right.
yeah, you kind of come in and out.
That is a good one to end it on. We will take more answers if you have them out there. 615-737-1025. What's your comfort TV show? But we are going to move on. Get back to the Titans. We will check in if there's any updates from training camp and also some big names on the trade market that have requested trades formally over the last couple of days. Do either of them make sense for the Titans? We will get into that next. This week's Nashville's best deal is Prince's Hot Chicken, Nashville's original hot chicken bursting with heat and flavor. There's nothing better than the original. For a limited time, grab half off a $25 gift card at thegamenashville.com/deals. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman, 4's Company, 1025, 1063 The Game. 4's Company, 1025, 1063, The Game. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you on this Saturday morning. Still got plenty of time on the show. Again, we're going to look at the John Robinson interview with Chase and Big Joe in the final hour. Lots to get to there. Thought it was really well done by Chase and Big Joe, and we have some thoughts on a couple of the big things that came out of that hour-long conversation with the former Titans general manager. Also, where are they now? Coming up at 11. But back into the Titans here. Looking up at SportsCenter, Jeremy Fowler right outside the Titans practice facility right now. He's had some thoughts on Cam Ward. But the big news across the NFL, as he gets to right here, Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin have both requested trades this week as they search for new contracts. Terry McLaurin, a little bit less out there, I would say. Micah Parsons wrote a novel and put it out on social media of why he is requesting a trade, why he says he no longer wants to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Would you like a Dallas Cowboys joke?
I would
before we
love a
proceed?
Dallas Cowboys joke.
This is from my father as of 10:02 a.m., and it is appropriate. How are the Dallas Cowboys and Chick-fil-A employees the same?
They don't work on Sundays.
They both take Sundays off.
It's very good.
Sorry, Chase.
From Rick Newt. Micah Parsons has requested a trade. So is Terry McLaurin. I don't know if either of them ever actually leave.
I think Micah Parsons will have a contract on his desk by Monday.
Right. A lot of the times the requesting of a trade ends up being the catalyst that
It's for leverage.
right. Mm-hmm. That ends up getting a deal done. Remember Deebo Samuel, where Deebo, this was right during the AJ Brown stuff. And I remember thinking, well, the Titans are still negotiating with AJ Brown, but it seems like they're in a good place. They'll get something figured out. But Deebo was going to clubs and telling people that he'll never play another down for the 49ers and publicly requested a trade. Well, they figured out a contract.
That was McLaurin was doing stuff there too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that was the three. It was AJ, Deebo, and Terry McLaurin.
Right. They were all in the same draft class. And Deebo, his mom was going on podcasts and saying,
they had that whole FaceTime. It was AJ Brown and
Deebo.
Yeah.
So requesting a trade, honestly, may not even mean anything because odds are the Cowboys aren't going to trade Micah Parsons. At least I don't think.
Jerry's not going to do that.
I don't think Jerry Jones is going to do that. Jerry Jones not very good at running his football team over the last 25 years, but I don't think he's going to trade away his best or second best player.
They'll pay him whatever he wants.
He's going to get a new contract. But Terry McLaurin, I don't think they're going to trade him.
Do you think there's a market for Terry McLaurin?
Less than Commanders fans would like, I think.
I mean, he's 30.
Right.
And he's a good receiver, but I don't think he's a franchise-changing receiver.
So
he's not Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase.
That's what I was going to say is I saw some Titans fans out there saying, go get Terry McLaurin as a weapon for Cam Ward. And it's I understand the sentiment, but we got Terry McLaurin at home. Calvin Ridley is basically Terry McLaurin.
They're the same age.
They're about the same age. Calvin's a little bit older, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think Calvin just turned 30 and Terry turns 30 in September. So it's barely a little bit older. They're going to be getting paid about the same amount. Terry probably gets a little more just because it's more recent, whatever deal he's going to get.
Next man up.
And I would say Terry probably a little bit more productive, but it's about the same. You don't really, with the timetable for this Titans team, Terry McLaurin does not fit their long-term plan. By the time the Titans are expecting to be good, Terry McLaurin's probably not going to be a top 15 wide receiver in the game.
Yeah, I'd agree to that. I mean, he's a trade deadline rental is what he is for a contending team.
You'd have to give him a new contract.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
It's do you want to pay two receivers $20+ million a year when your team's just not good enough to take advantage of that?
You have other holes to fill.
Yeah. Right now the Titans are paying roughly 20. It says here Calvin Ridley's 23 million roughly this year. So 22.4. So that's his salary for this season. As Terry McLaurin's 15.5.
Well, Terry would get a new deal and it would probably be upwards of 20.
I'm just saying for the year. Yeah.
But Terry, he's a good player. And if you think he's the missing piece to go win, then you do it. When the Titans traded for Julio Jones, they thought he was the missing piece to go win a championship. It obviously didn't work out, but it made sense with that timetable of hey, you've got Derrick Henry in his prime. Ryan Tannehill still playing at a high level. You've got an up-and-coming receiver in A.J. Brown. The defense was solid. It was like, all right, if we go get Julio Jones, we could make a run at it. That timetable made sense. For the Titans right now, like last year, you trade for L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed doesn't fit in the timetable. Even if he does have a bounce-back year this year, he's not going to be a major piece of this team when they get back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Neither would Terry McLaurin if you trade for him right now.
Like, he's not a franchise-changing receiver either. He's not a generational talent. He's a good receiver, but I think Terry needs to put it in reverse. See what I did there? You guys got me.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Bag up, Terry. Bag up. Put it in reverse, Terry.
Now, Micah Parsons. That is a trade I would go make if it was available. I don't think it is. I don't think the Cowboys are even going to entertain trading for Micah Parsons. But that is a guy who not only does he make you better now, but he is going to make you better for a long time.
Can I disagree with you?
You can. I give you permission to disagree with
I think
you.
that's Sports Talk Radio. Yes.
That is kind of how this works.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make that trade. I was listening to D-Mace yesterday talk about, what would the asking price for Micah Parsons be? And he said it would probably be around Jeffrey Simmons and 2 firsts. I don't think risking the future, the draft picks wise, is worth Micah Parsons. Generational defensive player.
If it's that much, then I agree, but I don't think it would be that much.
I don't either. But if it is, plus you got to give him a new contract if you do that.
Right. Which is why the Cowboys wouldn't have leverage.
Yeah. I think there's just too much going on. I love the player, but I think it just doesn't make sense for the Titans to do that.
I think if you could get the asking price down to like a first and a third, maybe you throw a player in there, or like Jeffrey Simmons in a first. Like, I understand you don't want to give up your first round pick because it's probably going to be high this year.
Yeah.
Like you are probably giving up a top 10 pick in this, but Micah Parsons is a player that you could build your defense around.
1,000%.
And you already have the quarterback. That's the only reason that I would consider it. If you don't have your quarterback, you don't give up your first round pick.
You're right.
Because that is such an important piece of whether you want to trade up to get a quarterback or if you luck into the number 1 pick like the Titans did this year. But you got your quarterback. If the asking price got to a certain point, and again, I don't think Micah Parsons is going to be made available. I don't think Jerry Jones is going to be fielding calls and offers.
I think he'll have a new contract.
I think Micah Parsons will be a Cowboy for at least the next 5 years. But if he was available, that is a guy who fits the timeline of what the Titans are trying to do. And it would be a move that not only this year, I think Micah Parsons, if you brought him in this year, he probably makes you a win better than you are. And you head into next year with a superstar defensive player and hopefully your franchise quarterback. That's a great start to getting back to the playoffs.
Yeah. And to that point, say if Jeffrey Simmons was in the works with a trade like this, you still got T'Vondre Sweat, who can still just mess up the middle of the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, you might have to include Simmons in a trade.
Right.
But if you didn't, and you could run out, like, let's say next year, you run out a defensive line of hoping Femi Oladejo is what you hope he is. Femi, Jeffrey Simmons, T'Vondre Sweat, Micah Parsons. That is best defensive line in the league. I think it would be hard to argue it. It isn't, depending on Femi is the wild card there.
This is absolute best case scenario. Like that whole scenario.
Right.
There.
No, for sure. Like it's all wishful thinking of like Sweat's got to take a big step and Femi's got to be the guy that they hope he is. You picked him in the second round. But I'm just saying, if you add Micah Parsons to this team, that's something that isn't completely out of nowhere. Like, the Titans don't need win now moves. Micah Parsons is a win now and win later move because he's young enough and he's talented enough.
He's what, 25, 26?
You could get 5 more high-level years out of Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
And I think the Titans hope that within 5 years, they're back to being a contender. So, bringing him in this year, maybe it makes you a 6-win team instead of a 5-win team. But I think next year and 2027, that's immediately the staple piece of your defense, maybe of your entire team, if you made that move. So I don't think he's available. This all is probably just,
Fantasyland.
speaking into the ether because it doesn't really matter. But if he's available, I would seriously look into it if I was Mike Borgonzi.
Yeah. And because looking into the next season, when it comes to the draft, you can have majority of your picks to be all defense, and you can actually revolve it around Micah Parsons.
Right.
Which is what you need.
You need it.
I just think the asking price would be too high.
I agree, which is why
why I wouldn't do it.
I don't think you could get it down to a place you're comfortable with, and the Cowboys are going to pay him.
Yeah.
So 9777 on our text line says, LOL, trade Arden Key in the package and keep Simmons. Yeah, let's do that.
That'll work.
I think
Hey,
Arden Key
Jerry.
is some bag of football.
We got you. We gave you who was it?
We want Micah Parsons. We'll give you Arden Key and a 4th round pick.
You said the key to my Ford? I don't need that. I got a spare in the wallet.
I don't want it.
We'll give you Arden Key, Chigakonkwo,
And
we'll
hug.
swap picks in the 6th round. How does that sound, Jerry?
Well, I like swapping picks, but I don't know if that's tickling my fancy a little bit. I need something a little extra.
Jerry Jones put on an Oscar-worthy performance in Landman, apparently.
I have heard that. Yeah. Yeah.
Like he starts crying and
maybe that's why Micah doesn't have a new contract. They haven't been able to negotiate because he's been out on set so much with his acting career.
Talking to Calipari, hanging out with the Razorbacks.
Hey, he is a big Arkansas guy.
He's a big donor of theirs.
Yes. Yeah.
His grandson played football at Arkansas.
Right. Yes. And his son was the one that was that Micah named by name, and that like he didn't say Jerry, he said Stephen Jones, like basically has refused to negotiate with him. So very interesting. 615-737-1025. If you have thoughts on the Titans or any of these possible trade moves, I understand they're very unlikely and honestly probably not going to happen, not just to the Titans, but to anybody. I don't know if McLaurin or Parsons are going anywhere, but if you have thoughts, we'd love to hear from you. 615-737-1025, halfway through the show. When we come back, we'll continue to look at these trade opportunities and check in on Titans practice as they wrap up over there at St. Thomas Sports Park. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman, 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. 4's Company, 1025, 1063, The Game. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you. Still got an hour and a half to go. Again, where are they now? Coming up at the top of the hour, America's favorite game show. We will also get into the J-Rob interview with Chase and Big Joe. But quickly, updates. Seems like practice just finished over at St. Thomas Sports Park. Teron Davenport just put out his notes. Let me search through here for anything notable.
That means hurry up, Parker Kelly. We got a meeting today.
Yeah, get in that car. At least it's Saturday, no traffic.
That's true.
Traffic was bad out there yesterday.
And it's beautiful today.
It is. Highs in the 80s is such a welcome sight after how hot it's been.
With the humidity being low as well.
Which, again, it's surface level analysis, but it seems like there was more energy today over at Titans practice. Maybe because it's not quite as hot. Again, very surface level. Calvin Ridley back at practice after missing yesterday due to rest. Peter Skoronski also was on the field. Tavondre Sweat out again. So that was kind of the injury update. Based on what I've seen, Cam Ward has looked pretty good. He almost threw a pick to Darrell Baker, made a couple of nice throws to Ridley, Oliver. Apparently, Ward hit Ridley for what would have been a touchdown. Calvin Ridley dropped it late in practice in a team drill.
Uh-oh.
Femi Oladejo won pretty much all of his 1v1 reps. That's good to see.
That is good.
Ward in team period. Found Van Jefferson a couple of times. Alec Iamaner had a couple of touchdowns. One in red zone.
Telling you, man. He's going to be fun.
I think Iamaner is going to be good. Joey Sly missed a 45-yard field goal.
Hokey high.
Tech VPI. Yeah, so, based on that, seems like probably the best practice for Cam Ward in a week.
Yeah. And I think, I don't want to say it couldn't get much worse because it absolutely could. But I think it kind of speaks to what Brian Callahan has been saying about Cam Ward, is that when he makes a mistake, he is going to learn from it. He doesn't like making mistakes. No quarterback in the NFL does.
Right.
Even Will Levis didn't like making mistakes, even though it seemed like that was his drug. But it just feels like Cam Ward, I think, knows he has not been good. He has been, quote, say it with me now,
Mid.
We sound like Pat McAfee show right now. He knows he's been mid, but I think he doesn't want, he has that killer instinct, I don't want to compare him to like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, but they had that killer instinct in that they knew they were going to make you pay regardless of how they played the game before. We haven't seen Cam Ward in a game situation. We've seen him in practice. We've seen him throwing picks across the middle to Cody Barton. Whether or not that translates to an actual game situation, we'll see. But it seems like if that does, Cam Ward is not going to dwell on those mistakes like last year's quarterback did. He's just going to keep pushing forward. He said it himself. If he throws a 4-book game, as I have never heard that before.
I still have never heard anyone
4-book game
refer to interceptions as book.
Didn't Callahan say that at one point last year?
Maybe he did.
Maybe that's where it came from.
I think so. I think I remember hearing Callahan in one of those press conferences last year saying book.
What a horrible book from Will Levis that cost us the game.
But anyways, if he throws a 4-book game, the next week he's not going to dwell on it. He is going to go into that game thinking, well, I'm throwing 350 and 5 touchdowns.
Right.
And that's the mentality I think a young quarterback needs to have.
This upcoming week is going to be very important for Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Going to a new environment, I think it's good that these joint practices are not in Nashville. He's got to go to a place he's unfamiliar with, face guys he hasn't faced before.
Not as much of a microscope on him away from home.
Right.
Less eyes on him. The only thing we'll see is like open period practices.
Right. And we'll get all the updates from everybody who
Right.
travels down there, but like it's going to be less of the entire world is looking right at him, because the fans out there for Tampa Bay, they're going to be less focused. Like they're going to want to see Cam Ward,
Yeah.
but it's going to be more about the Bucs players.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he does in joint practices and in the preseason game. How much do you guys want him to play in the preseason game?
I want to see him play every first half of every game.
Really?
Yes.
You want 6 quarters of preseason football from Cam Ward?
I do.
Here's how
I
would
really
do it.
do.
I would do it kind of like they did last year. Give me one drive of him in the first preseason game, maybe most of a quarter, if not the full first quarter in the second game. Then he can play maybe the first half in the third game.
Yeah, I think I'm right around there with you. I think a drive next Saturday, depending on how joint practices go. Like
Right.
I think what he does in these joint practices is going to be very telling of what you need to see in the preseason game. He's a rookie. I'd like to see him out there at least for a drive on Saturday, but let's say he does well on Saturday. They do a lot of work in the joint practices. If he doesn't play against Atlanta, like
The second game is the game no one cares about.
I think he should play in all 3 games at some point, but like that's going to be based on what the coaching staff sees. I do think the last game, I'd like to see him play at least a quarter.
Yeah.
But there's always you want to go into the regular season on a high note.
Yeah.
So like that game against the Vikings at home, if they go out and march right down the field and score a touchdown, I'm like, you don't need to see anymore. Let him go into the regular season with confidence in front of the home crowd. I think the last game is going to be very dependent on how he does. If he struggles and they go 3 and out or he throws a pick, keep him in there until he can leave on a high note.
I mean, let's not play revisionist history. Like CJ Stroud, his preseason, he was awful. Like we all thought he was going to suck. And then he comes in his rookie year and lights it up. I'm not saying that will happen for Cam Ward, but if Cam Ward goes into the preseason and just doesn't look good, don't take that as a reflection of what the season is going to look like.
Preseason results don't matter that much.
Yeah, and that just
unless you're the Baltimore Ravens.
That just alludes to my point that he needs to be playing the first half of every single preseason game. In my opinion, there's so many new nuances with this offense. I get it. Joint practices, you can do whatever with that. You need in-game reps.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. You could play a quarter, a drive, whatever. If you play a full half, that gives you a good synopsis of what you really have. And to your point, if that third game comes around or whatever, and you've already seen enough out of them, 1 quarter or a drive's fine.
Right.
I just think those first 2 are vital, though.
I think the third game is more about confidence, but next Saturday is about just getting him into an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put the uniform on, go out there, play in front of a crowd. It's not going to be a big crowd, but go out there and play and, see what happens. The results really don't matter.
Yeah.
The Titans won just as many preseason games as they did regular season games last year. So it really does not matter the results. If Cam Ward goes out there and throws a pick 6 on the first play of his preseason, good. Like, not good. Obviously, we don't want to see it, but like he can learn from it.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota's first pass in a preseason game was an interception.
Get the jitters out of the way.
Is that right? It was against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Because
it was one of
because he hadn't thrown a pick in all of training camp, and then his first pass in the preseason game was intercepted.
Right.
So not that we want Cam Ward to turn out like Marcus.
About the Lloyd Cushenberry thing we started the show off with, that's kind of another reason why I would like to see Cam Ward get a whole half in, is because if Lloyd Cushenberry's back potentially with those preseason games, there's your chemistry you're building in game, not in joint practice, in game.
I don't know if Lloyd Cushenberry is going to play at least until the last preseason game.
Yeah.
Maybe not at all.
You're going to see a lot of Corey Levin and Jackson Slater.
Right. Even if he comes back next week, because that was Terry McCormick's report again, was that the initial target date for L'Jarius Sneed and Lloyd Cushenberry to come back is that week of the Atlanta preseason game. So not this upcoming week, the week after. I think it's still going to be a stretch for Cushenberry to be ready for week 1. Possible, but we'll see.
I can see that.
Texter on our text line agrees with you, Nick. At least every first half. He says he thinks Cam needs that game time to get him as ready as possible for Denver week 1. I can see where that comes from. Like, I do want to see a decent amount from him, but I think it is such a feel thing. It's kind of like managing a bullpen in baseball, of like, you just have a feel of like, all right, we've seen enough from him. Let's just get him out of there. And you don't want to leave him in one play too long, right? Like that's the main thing, is you want to make sure he's healthy, he gets the reps, and keeps his confidence high heading into the season.
I see that, but I also look at it from a, I guess, scouting perspective when it comes to the quarterback, because it's his offense. The world is his oyster.
Yeah.
Say if he loves a third string wide receiver, say Restrepo does a good job in a preseason game, and maybe he's better in game than in a joint practice. Maybe that's what sets that wide receiver or whoever else apart from others.
It's a good point.
Just putting that out there.
It's a good point. I can't believe we are a week away from preseason game 1. I mean, we had a preseason game on Thursday night. I did not watch much of it.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the virtual first down marker? I love it.
It looks like tennis.
It does. It's like the eagle eye, or Hawkeye system.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. It is the year 2025.
Although I missed the chain game.
They're still out there. They're a backup.
Yeah. But
it
If
is
there's a
the year. It
malfunction.
is the year 2025. We need to stop
the year
measuring
of our
first
Lord.
downs with chains connected by 2 brooms, basically.
You're right.
Let's just have a guy out there eyeballing it.
Yeah,
Right there.
that's a first down.
It's like a Michigan, South Carolina with Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah,
Where it's clearly behind the line and they give it to
him the
him.
first down.
Steve Spurrier is just going ballistic.
Clowney took it into his own hands.
Fumble, scoop and score.
Was it Gene Steratore who used like the credit card and like, that's first down? 615-737-1025 is our phone number. More on the Titans coming up next. And again, coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, where are they now? And a look back at John Robinson's interview with Chase and Big Joe. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you on this Saturday morning. 4's Company, 1025, 1063 The Game. Force Company, 1025, 1063 The Game, wrapping up hour number 2 on this Saturday. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you. Talking Titans, they just wrapped up practice over at St. Thomas Sports Park. Back-to-back days of padded practice. A lot of good coming out about Cam Ward, and that's good to see. I think Titans fans, Cam Ward, the team, they needed a good day from Cam Ward so people would stop talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, we're all guilty of it too.
Right. It's easy when you get these updates day by day of what Cam Ward is doing. It's easy to overreact in the recency bias. Not every good practice means that he's the best quarterback in the league. Not every bad practice means he's the worst quarterback in the league. It's going to be up and down. And hopefully next week is a good week for him as he takes on Tampa Bay in those joint practices.
I don't know if Baker will be ready. I think he has a hand contusion.
Yeah, I
is what
did
they're talking
see
about.
that.
In his throwing hand?
It just said hand contusion.
Who's their backup down there? Is it
still
still Kyle Trask?
Yeah, I think it is Kyle Trask.
Because they had the like battle, and Baker obviously won. Yeah, Kyle Trask, Michael Pratt, the former Tulane quarterback, are the
former
other.
Packer.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's a good where are they now?
Yeah, that is true.
I'll use that in like 6 months when you guys forget.
So it'll be a fun one down there. Cam Ward going to try and show out a little bit. Denard Wilson was just speaking to the media, and this might seem obvious, but he did say when L'Jarius Sneed comes back, he is a starter for us. Again, maybe seems obvious, but good to hear that at the very least, the coaching staff does have confidence in his ability, because it's easy to forget, even when he was healthy last year, he wasn't very good. He wasn't bad. It's not like he was a liability out there, but it wasn't like he was lighting the world on fire and then just suffered an injury. It was a little underwhelming in the first couple of weeks of the L'Jarius Sneed era.
But they need him because
Oh, for sure.
for corner depth. Outside of Sneed, you have Brownlee and McCreary. And really, that's about it in your secondary that's notable. They need him simply just so they have another solid body out there.
Right. You can't go into the season expecting, I guess it would be Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Daryl Baker,
Yes.
Roger McCreary would be like that. But who else beyond that? If Sneed isn't ready, or if anything comes up with Sneed and his legal situation, like who else? Jamari Harris is the undrafted guy out of Iowa who
will probably make the roster.
Like I know they like him, but Marcus Harris, the guy out of Cal, but is he kind of a nickel guy?
Yeah, he's more of a slot guy.
So, I mean, you need L'Jarius Sneed. You need him to be good. There's a reason that he was still an honorable mention on the ESPN top 10 cornerbacks list. There's still a lot of belief in the film that he put out there when he was in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he ever gets back to that level, but even 75% of that would make him easily top 1 or 2 corner on this team.
There's my guy on the TV right there.
Ozzy.
Oh, this is old. This is like a 1985 Cardinals Cubs game.
It is.
Yes.
MLB Network Saturday programming.
Great.
I think it could be because is that not Ryan Sandberg on the mound for the Cubs?
It might be. I have to go check. But to the Titans topic, while you look that up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. No, I just kind of we're talking about special teams earlier. John Fossil, according to Jim Wyatt. Hey, look, I just accredited somebody.
Look at that.
He said that.
Make sure you do that in your practice reaction.
Yeah.
I will say Ryan Sandberg's not a pitcher, so it is not him on the mound.
Let's see here. Competition and joint practices and return game. He mentioned Jaquan Jackson, Tajay Spears, Shamir DK, Xavier Restrepo, and James Prochet. So no Bryce Oliver in that mix.
Yeah.
Although he did say Bryce Oliver was fantastic on special teams, according to
on special teams, but like
not
I'm talking
returning.
for returning.
Oh,
yeah, because we talked about it earlier with him possibly.
I'm telling you,
return
it'll be
option.
Chim DK.
You think?
I think
DK makes the most sense in terms of potential.
Yeah.
Was it us going through the last time there was a Titans kick return, or maybe it was D-Mace?
Yeah, it was me, and D-Mace. Yeah.
Where they've only had one return touchdown outside of the A.J. Brown onside kick return touchdown since 2012.
Yeah,
something
around
like that.
area.
The only one since then was Darius Jennings, who had a kick return touchdown in 2018.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I believe the last one was like Darius Raynaud or something like that in 2013. So it really has been a long time since the Titans have had an explosive returner. DK could be that. He ran a 4.38.
Yeah.
That sound right? Yeah. Like
his thing is just his hands. He's got to work on hauling them in.
As the great Mike Vrabel said, get me a returner who can catch the ball. That's the most important thing. You got to catch it. But
how many have they had?
I mean,
Kyle Phillips was terrible.
Everybody thought Kyle Phillips was going to be the savior, and he was horrible.
I thought he was a Swiss Army knife.
Right. Everybody was like, oh, they drafted Kyle Phillips. He's going to be the returner. He's going to be our Mark Mariani.
Yeah.
And
the guy can block in the run game.
Jaquan Jackson could haul him in, but he would like take 18 steps and gain like 2 feet and then get blown up.
And then you had to put Amani Hooker back there, or
Tajay Spears.
Robert Woods went back there a couple times. It's just like, hey, we don't care what you do once you catch the ball. Just make sure you catch it. If Chim DK can catch the ball, I think he is the most explosive, highest ceiling returner back there. But it is nice to have James Prochet, where maybe you sneak him onto the 53 to start, or maybe he's on your practice squad and he can be an elevation if you need it, if Chim DK struggles. And then who knows if Prochet's good, you put him on the 53 and you carry 7 receivers.
Yeah, and I'm also curious too with special teams with Bones Fossil, the film aspect of this when it comes to returning, because obviously the new kickoff format, you wonder what kind of, I guess they call them valleys or tunnels or whatever that you're going through. You're basically your run lanes if you're on, punt or kick team. But when you're the return game, what kind of valleys are they opening up? Because they're starting out like right next to each other and be like 10 yards in between. So I mean, you talk about that top end speed with Shamir DK, like that could be something to look at. Because I was watching the Hall of Fame game and they had Naheem Hines.
Yeah.
And he broke
Colts
open.
legend.
Yeah. He broke open a few runs that kind of, in my brain, I was thinking, man, this could really be the Titans this year. If they have a top end guy, I mean, like you guys are talking about, Shamir DK.
They got to find somebody. Yeah. Like, it's got to be better. The field position, there's a reason the Titans defense was the number 1 team in yards allowed, because they lost the field position game so consistently. And yeah, maybe they didn't give up a lot of yards, but it's because there weren't a lot of yards available to give up.
Right.
Like when the team's starting at their own 45 on average, I don't know if that's actually correct, but like there's less yards for you to give up. Titans have to be better in special teams, and just getting an extra 10 yards, that's a first down that you don't have to get anymore. It's huge. And having a good returner is going to be really important. Other observations from Titans practice today. Good to hear that Femi Oladejo is having a good start to camp.
He seems like he's ahead of schedule.
Right. I think, and we talked about it, I thought he was going to be real project player, not a red shirt, like as in take the year off, but I thought it was going to be kind of a red shirt year of like, hey, we're going to get you in there when we can, but we don't expect you to be an impact player for us right out the gate. It seems like he could be, not saying he's a 10 sack guy as a rookie, but he could be a 5 to 7 sack guy. And that's more than I thought he would get. I was thinking he'd end up, maybe 2 or 3 sacks, show some flashes here and there, but we're looking to 2026 for Femi. He looks like he is ahead of schedule.
Yeah. And that's good to see, because when that pick was made, I hated it. Like a lot of people.
I didn't hate it. I was disappointed because I think like a lot of Titans fans, they want a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They wanted the flashy new weapon for Cam Ward. And when you take a project edge rusher, that isn't the flashy, sexy pick. And if it works out, Mike Borgonzi's a lot smarter than a lot of Titans fans. So
smarter than me.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. Wrapping up hour number 2 here on 4's Company. Plenty coming up. We'll have Where Are They Now coming up next. And again, we are going to give our thoughts on John Robinson's appearance with Chase and Big Joe on Thursday. Plenty to get to there with Treylon Burks, Isaiah Wilson, and much more. We'll do that in the final hour. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman with you here. 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.